welcome to Top Rope Rally episode 145. I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm Justin Carter.
And we got a big shocker before we come on there.
Literally, like, almost right before we touched the button to record, we got very, very, very bad news. It has been verified from multiple people.
Yes.
So this was not on our agenda to be talking about, but this is our first thing we will be discussing, and that is, and this is why we won't have a graphic up for it. It'll be the graphic. This will definitely be the graphic for the video, though.
Yes, it will be.
We don't have a graphic for the screen, but we unfortunately have the news that Bobby the Brain Heenan has officially passed away. From
a few hours to go,
A few hours ago. I mean, he's had complications for years now.
Yes.
And I guess it finally came to a head, but it is very unfortunate. It's a major loss to the wrestling community, and people are really pouring their hearts out, and there's just everybody all over the wrestling community is letting Bobby know how he truly meant to them.
Oh, yes.
You know, so
I am still in shock because I think I loved him as a manager. I loved him as an announcer. I mean, it was just
and he's a well-rounded person, because before even managing, he was actually an in-ring performer.
Yes.
And, that was before our time of watching. And then, not sure why he ended up deciding to do something different, but he left from in-ring and decided to become a manager, and then later on became a commentator.
And some of the greats.
Rick Rude,
Nick Bockwinkel, Ric Flair, Andre the Giant.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect.
Arn and Tully.
Yep.
I mean, Haku
and Barbarian.
Yes. Harley Race.
Harley Race, yeah.
I mean, it's just, and I'd have to look back at AWA because I didn't watch much of AWA. And it's gonna be.
He managed a lot of people there too.
A lot of people in AWA he managed, yeah. I think Ray the Crippler Stevens. I think he managed him.
Yeah, because him and Nick Bockwinkel were tag champs, yes.
And and being a great announcer for WWE, for WCW.
Yes.
Him and Gorilla together, what made prime time wrestling.
Yes, they were the best of friends.
That's pretty much that's all as a review show. I mean, now it would be a review show, but it's matches they've taped already, so you just watch for their comic timing. And
it was the stuff between the matches that were so fun to keep up with.
And I'm so glad that's on the network.
Yes, and you can watch that on the network, and hopefully WWE will do a tribute video for Raw. And hopefully SmackDown.
Yeah, no, it's not they forget SmackDown. Raw gets it. Oh, we're not going to show it on SmackDown. Why not?
They replay everything else.
They do.
And then hopefully they'll put a network collection together of all, his greatest moments and stuff in wrestling.
Yeah,
things like him in Warrior, with him in the Weasel suit.
Yeah.
Things like that. And the Weasel suit actually started in AWA. He did that then, so maybe they'll have that on there.
They got the rights to some of those, so they probably got that too. But yeah.
So it'll be interesting, but hopefully they do the right thing, and they do give him a tribute.
Contribute to them. Yes, he needs to get a very good tribute.
Yes, because he definitely added a lot to the WWE. I don't think that they would have been nearly as successful in that Hulkamania era if it wasn't for Bobby Heenan being that heel manager going against Hogan and so many different people.
I think it's a lot of the Heenan family were the ones pretty much going to Hogan. Yes. Bundy. Then when he got Andre, and WrestleMania 3 with Andre, Hogan, and Heenan, and the wrestling took off. I mean,
yes, because if it wasn't for Heenan being in those, there was key moments, those little promos leading up to it. Was it the Snake Pit? I think it was, or the Jesse Ventura. I think it was one of his interview segments or whatever. One of them was where they yanked the
Piper's
Pit.
Yeah.
They had all.
Yeah, Jesse was out there because Piper said he would bring Hogan, and Jesse said he'd have
Gotcha. I knew Jesse was there.
Jesse was there. Causing trouble
when he yanked the cross and stuff like that. Those are monumental things, and Heenan was right in the middle of all that stuff. So he definitely contributed so much to the wrestling business that WWE. They really have no choice. They have to do a tribute.
World champions, continental champions, tag team champions. I mean, and somebody if he had a group and they wanted a belt, they got it.
Yep.
So
this is true. So this is definitely unfortunate, and We definitely weren't prepared for it because it would have been on. It would have also been on the screen back here, but it will be the thumbnail for this particular video here.
Most definitely, yes.
So,
it will be. Well, let's continue on. I mean,
we've got a few other things to go over. It's still kind of shocking.
And I will welcome all comments in the section below on Bobby Heenan.
All your favorite memories. Yes. Your favorite Bobby Heenan memories. If you want to comment on our YouTube video here and let us know what your favorite memories are, that would be much appreciated. But we are going to keep going. Eric Bischoff, he's in the news right now from his podcast that he does, where he offered... He's
even trying to help Global Force out.
He has offered some advice to... every time I go, Jim Hurd. Every time I'm about to say it, I forget it. We call him Jim Hurd here, but he is Ed Nordholm,
yeah.
But we like to call him Jim Hurd. So anytime you hear Jim Hurd, you know it's the Ed guy from Global Force. But Eric Bischoff did offer him some advice on who he should hire and put in charge of the creative team. He said that Keith Mitchell is under the radar, and we were wondering who Keith Mitchell was, and I looked it up. And at one point, he was a producer for TNA programming, and I believe this is the same kind of stuff that he did for WCW as well. And it says if he was advising Ed, he would advise him to hire Keith Mitchell before 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and let Keith run creative. Keith has forgotten more about creative and sports entertainment and pro wrestling than the tub of crap that John Gabork is and whoever else is working with him. Keith knows more than he and Ed would learn in 200 years. He's really seen it all. He's learned from his success, he's learned from failure, and he's been an instrumental part of it all. He can cut through the BS, and so Ed, if you are listening, he says, and he knows, Eric knows that Ed follows him on Twitter, he says, call Keith Mitchell, make him a deal. If you want to save your butt, Keith Mitchell is the guy to help you do it.
I mean,
it's not like Eric's sitting there saying, hey, hire me. I mean, he's giving him advice on hiring somebody else. And the guy's worked for the company before, you know. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, Eric Bischoff, he's made some mistakes in the past, but hey, he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders when it comes to this kind of stuff. So,
and we go back to 88 weeks in a row of beating WWE, almost out of business.
Right.
So,
but also, we got a lot of Global Force news, though. It says Global Force did reveal which country.
WWE's out of state.
They are in another country. They're in China, Japan, all kinds of stuff.
Australia.
Yeah. But it says Global Force revealed which country will host this year's Bound for Glory pay-per-view.
And they had a video for the UK. They had a video up for Japan. They had a video up for Canada. And on the Wikipedia site it said Orlando. So we
had no idea. But they have revealed that it will be Canada.
The home of Anthem's Entertainment.
Yes, apparently Anthem is out of Toronto, so they're saying more than likely Toronto will be the building where they go.
What's funny when people put up the UK video, people were talking about, yes, Wembley Stadium, they're gonna be at Wembley Stadium. Don't make that face.
They couldn't fill up the daggum Armory, much less Wembley Stadium.
Well, I guess in Toronto they're gonna be at the Sky Dome, the place of Hogan and Warrior.
That place hasn't been destroyed yet. I think they took that down.
That's a good place for Global Force then. Be enough seats in.
They'll be in the ashes of the sky.
Yes.
But yeah, there's apparently some building that they think they could fill up. Black out those seats up there. No cameras, no lights.
Well, I hope they have already started promoting this thing because 11/5 comes pretty soon, you know.
Yeah, we don't watch their show. We just read the spoilers.
If this is their WrestleMania, which is this supposed to be their WrestleMania, the ball needs to be rolling right now. And all I've heard is Alberto will be back.
Like, who cares?
Against who? Well, he's just going to be back? Okay, yeah.
Oh, we get him and Bobby Lashley again? Woo!
It's supposed to be him and Jeff Jarrett, but...
clearly that went out the window, didn't it?
I guess, unless Jeff will be back.
Unless all this is a big thing to get publicity and Jeff is still there. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? If they said, hey, you're going home, and the whole thing was a ruse, and Jeff Jarrett's still there.
Well, I would hope so, the way it went, because he was talking, hey, what a great day, and then later that afternoon, hey, he's away.
He's out of Global Force, yeah.
People are paying attention where Karen is, too, so...
Yeah, they're saying that if she goes home, then that's a big sign. If not, here's the thing: you got too many freaking chefs in the kitchen. Okay, so Jeff is a character on television that's supposed to be in charge. Mm-hmm. Karen supposedly has stroke.
The women, I guess?
She's supposedly in charge of something. But she's on television.
Yes.
Bruce was on television. He's in charge. Jim Cornette has some stroke apparently, so he's in charge. You see Dutch Mantell on there all the time. Who is in charge? You have 5 general managers?
They do.
Or couldn't even say general manager. It might be a...
And they all answer to Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed. I like that.
Mr. Ed.
Ed.
We don't call him Jim Herd, we'll call him Mr. Ed.
Yes, when you don't hear Jim Herd, you'll hear Mr. Ed. But apparently they made a big boo-boo.
Well, for a few people, they got to see some stuff for free. So it wasn't too bad of a boo-boo.
Right. It says Global Force Wrestling's Global Wrestling Network launched.
Kind of.
Sort of, kind of. It said that Anthem Entertainment launched the app after a report hit saying that they were looking to sell Global Force Wrestling. So I guess they were working on things and then trying to get things going.
They're saying we're trying to get out of the wrestling business.
Launch early.
Launch a network. Launch the network.
So they're saying that they were trying to sell it and get out of the wrestling business. So the Global Force Wrestling Network, called the Global Wrestling Network, went live September the 12th. For a while, basically on accident, the site went live while developers were tweaking the infrastructure. It was not intended to be accessible to the public, but some fans discovered they could get on and access all of the currently uploaded content free of charge. Once Anthem executives learned of this, they shut the site down. Everything at the URL is currently password protected, and the initial launch is reportedly planned for mobile devices via Android, iOS, but Roku, Xbox, and Fire TV apps are supposedly coming soon. It also reports a $5.99 monthly price point, which is cheaper than what Global Force president Jim Herd told Wrestling Observer. So we'll find out when it launches for real.
He said $7.99.
I like $5.99, but so we'll find
far
out.
enough away from that $9.99
Yes.
WWE.
So we'll find out when it launches for real. Someday. So we don't know when it's going to happen.
And not Sunday, someday.
Yeah, not Sunday. We don't know when it's going to happen, but clearly they're working on it, and maybe that's why they accidentally launched it, to try to show people, hey, we really are serious about this.
But if you still got to pay a little bit for the pay-per-view, and
which
what they said, and they'll give you some shots at, I guess, cheaper merchandise.
Is it worth it?
Because you're not really, no.
Here's my thing. I like the older stuff from TNA anyway, so I would probably pay the $5.99 and I just wouldn't watch the current product.
Now, if you get to watch the pay-per-view for an extra $4, making it $9.99, then maybe you have something there.
Right.
But if you're paying $5.99, they say, well, give us $14 more or $14.99 to watch the pay-per-view.
No.
It ain't.
But yeah, if you do it's $6 a month for the normal stuff, and when you do the pay-per-view, then it's a $10 pay-per-view. Okay. So, because then you can pick and choose which pay-per-view you want to watch anyway.
Right.
Do I want to pay $16 or whatever it is? Because it's or $10, so you're getting $4 more out of it, right?
Yes.
Because it's really $6. So, do you want to pay the $10 for that pay-per-view that month? Or do you just want to stay at that $5.99 range?
That's right.
Okay, well, I'll stay at the $5.99 range. Maybe I'll get the Bound for Glory. But most of their pay-per-views are television specials anyway. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're going to have to charge you for the pay-per-view, because they only have like 2. They have Slammiversary and Bound for Glory. That's it.
And if you wait long enough,
it'll be on the network.
It should be on there.
$5.99.
Yes.
You're going to have Ed come out there with like $5.99.
No, that's be Josh Matthews' job.
Oh, my word. We're better than WWE Network because we're only $5.99. Who needs that other network that's only $9.99 when you can get this network for only $5.99?
Somebody in the comment section said they'll just wait a couple of years and get it on the WWE Network. when he buys a video library.
I like it.
That's funny.
I mean, yeah, it is weird to think that they actually that Glow of Force, TNA, whatever you want to call it, has lasted longer than WCW.
That is a shocker.
It's sad, is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
it is sad, I know. That is very weird.
Somebody else said, if we all know who Scott Hudson is, he was in WCW.
He's on the team, writing team or something still.
Who? Not TNA, not Scott Hudson.
Scott D'Amore.
Scott D'Amore.
Yes.
Scott Hudson was saying. Scott Hudson was saying he posted on Facebook a WCW memory, and one of his comments underneath there said, he said, I miss WCW so much. If I had to watch another Judy Bagwell on a pole match, I'd do it just to have WCW around again. I was like, that is hilarious, but we don't want to see that again. And then somebody said, WCW never went away. And he was like, what? He said, yeah, WCW never went away. It just renamed itself TNA in Global Force Wrestling. And Scott Hudson said, you have a point.
That's true.
I mean...
Well, we maybe get to see some more WCW shortly.
This is true. The WWE is talking about some of the live specials. Because, I mean, it doesn't need to be a pay-per-view. We have plenty of those.
Yes.
So, I mean, heck, what they... Okay, so the old Coliseum videos, all those were live events.
Yes.
And they filmed them.
Yes.
So film some of these live events and give them a theme. Okay, and that's what they're talking about, some of these live event specials like they've done before, the Beast in Tokyo.
Yes.
And different things like that. And they had...
That's something you can remember, huh?
Yes.
Because
that's when Finn Balor won the title from Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
But then there was another one in the Madison Square Garden. I think it was Brock Lesnar, a Big Show. But anyway, so they had some different ones, and you give them a theme, and you make it a special.
Because we talked about, I don't know if it's it had been on camera and off camera, that why don't they just do that for NXT?
Yeah.
NXT Halloween Havoc, NXT Starrcade, NXT, whatever.
Right, and they're talking about using WCW names for these specials that they're talking about doing.
I love the takeovers, but you still use Takeover, Halloween Havoc.
There you go. You never know.
So.
And they're saying that if it's talking about this time and season in the world, then what we're looking at is War Games, Halloween Havoc, Starrcade, and there was one other one, but that's the four that are in this time period. Fall Brawl.
Fall Brawl went with War Games. Fall Brawl went the War Games.
Yes. This is true. So, you got all those.
You got the Great American Bash.
Yeah, they ruined that, didn't they? The Bash. Just the Bash.
And then Great Balls of Fire.
You have all those WCW names you can use, and you came up with Great Balls of Fire.
I still think Vince heard that on the radio going to work one day.
He's like, that's great.
He was singing, dancing in his car. But speaking of Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Vince and John Cena, who didn't have a very good week this week, but who had the better week? Was it Braun Strowman or Kevin Owens?
Braun Strowman.
Or the bigger week, I should say. Not better, but bigger.
Braun Strowman had a big week going against John Cena.
Yep.
Took him out.
Took him out a week.
He took him out so he can go to China with the SmackDown crew, which is interesting. Like, why did they need him to do all that? But anyway.
They got Asuka too, so.
They did. But she'll be on Raw. Yeah. Very confusing, huh?
And she should be the one to take this out off Alexa Bliss.
She should be. Very true. But you could clearly see that they were going to do that as an 8-woman tag, but Asuka's got hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're doing 3-on-4. If you look at the results,
and Asuka was in the corner.
In the corner, so they did 3-on-4. So, but yeah, you could clearly tell they were going to do a 4-on-4 match. That was the original plan. But then Kevin Owens, he also had an interesting week because he said he was going to take over SmackDown. It's now going to become the Kevin Owens Show.
Yes,
and
they worked it. The writers did so well
for
them. I mean, during the show, he was talking to backstage people about new music and this, and telling people
English was going to help him out with that music.
Telling people who's going to be fired.
He's going to get rid of Sami Zayn. He was going to put Byron Saxton and Tom Phillips in matching suits.
No, in one suit. Since they're the same person.
Yes. They talk, I guess, the same or whatever.
Yeah, they don't look the same.
They definitely don't look the same, but they talk the same. So they're going to put him in one big suit.
But it's funny.
And so he was just going for it. And then, Daniel Bryan said, look, Vince is coming out later and you're not going to like what he has to say. And Vince basically told Kevin Owens, hey, you're going to Hell in a Cell, and you will be facing Shane McMahon.
Because if you sue us, you're fired.
Yeah, so instead of a lawsuit, we're going to have a match. Because he said, the thing with me, and which is very funny if you look online, he said, the thing with me, I've been in many lawsuits, and I've never lost. Somebody posted a picture of a panda. With the WWF above it. Oh, you lost, Vince.
Yeah.
You lost. Big time. But anyway, so he said he's never lost in lawsuits, and he said that's because he's a billionaire, and Kevin Owens is going to have a B in front of his name. It's going to be bankrupt.
Yes.
So, which, I mean, there's the reality with that, because someone of his caliber is going to keep on pushing the date back on that, and then Kevin Owens has to keep spending money on the attorney.
Yeah.
And then you eventually run out of money. That does happen in many real-life situations. So I kind of like that they did that.
Yeah, I think there's some realism into it.
They did. And then he said, fine, we'll do the Hell in a Cell, but you have to promise me when I beat Shane McMahon senseless that I don't get in trouble, I don't get fired. He said, he looked at me and said, so if I beat a McMahon senseless, if provoked,
yes,
give me your word, I will not be fired. And he gave him his word.
Yes, they shook hands.
They shook hands. Vince was saying some things.
And the beatings began.
And I wonder if Vince was sitting there looking at him saying, you lay it in. Lay it in, buddy.
He might have been.
Because that's how Vince is.
Yeah.
Make it look good.
Yeah.
So he beat the tar out of Vince. Kick to the ribs, headbutt.
Super kick,
and a frog splash.
Over Adam Pearce.
Yes.
Which I like out of Pearce because he was telling him, and then he protected Vince after.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he was the only one that ran in there besides the referees, and he was like, don't that. Which is cool because they have a connection because of the Ring of Honor. So.
Right. How many people? Yes.
How many people caught that? But anyway, so I would say out of the two of them, because how many people in WWE could say they beat the tar out of John Cena and he was out for a couple of weeks? That's happened a lot.
Yeah.
Because he had to go places and he had to go do things. Nowadays, especially, you don't see anybody touching Vince McMahon.
No.
So Kevin Owens clearly had the bigger week. Mm-hmm. That's the talk of the town right now, is what Kevin Owens did to Vince McMahon. And I'm ready to see what the repercussions will be on Tuesday night.
I know.
It's going to be big.
Can't touch him. I mean, Shane can attack him and beat crap for beating up his dad.
Because he's not the GM right now or commissioner or whatever he is.
No, but he can beat him up, and so that should be interesting. Yes, SmackDown has got you wanting to see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what's happening on Raw. Roman Reigns going to be out there talking about himself now since John Cena ain't there, so that's really going to be great. So.
But yeah, so it's definitely it's going to be interesting. But I'm really want to see what they do with this follow up of this story, because Hell in a Cell's not the next pay-per-view, is it? It's the Raw pay-per-view's next, right?
Yeah, because this is the go home show for Raw.
So we still got a few more
weeks. Next Sunday, the 24th, is No Mercy.
So we still
I think the first Sunday in October. The 5th, I think it is. It's going to be.
So we got a couple more weeks to build this up. So it's going to definitely.
Well, they only got 2 matches made so far. So.
But hey, those 2 matches is getting you going, ain't it? It's getting you ready to go.
One's in the Hell in a Cell, the other was not. So.
Well, they're talking about the tag team titles being the Hell in a Cell.
It's never been in the Hell in a Cell before.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, would be.
Very, very interesting.
Well, let's go ahead and finish up this first part with the Mae Young Classic, which took place this past Tuesday after SmackDown Live.
Yes, it was very, very good. I was wondering how they were going to pull it off, going SmackDown, Mae Young, 205 Live, but they did pretty well.
Yeah, the crowd seems to stay hot.
Crowd stayed into it. Yeah, they definitely stayed into it.
I guess the Vince getting beat up kept people rocking and rolling and still stay around. So.
But yeah, they showed the how we got to this point. Mm-hmm. They showed the red carpet stuff. Interesting thing was that some of the Glow ladies was there. And Awesome Kong was right there.
She was, huh?
I was like, hey, there you go. I didn't know the Glow ladies were going to be there, but that's interesting. Promoting the fact that season 2 was coming, and it is a monumental thing for women, so I guess that makes sense. It's a Glow wrestling thing. So,
no. What? They're saying some WWE people have been in it, but no old WWE was been in it, but no new WWE people have been in it.
Coming in Glow?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, because the original...
Unless this season they're going to put maybe some new...
The original Glow had Ivory started in Glow, left after Glow was done. She later on came to WWE, and then, of course... Also,
there's got to be a connection somewhere. I know, if you don't have,
right.
WWE ain't got a part of the show, why would you have people from an Netflix show, original,
right,
being the show?
They had to benefit off of it somehow.
There's somehow, yeah. Maybe we'll find out in season 2 there's going to be Dolph Ziggler will be on there or something.
Yeah, because that was true. Because all the guys that were in there were all former guys, like Morrison and like
Carlito,
Brodus Clay, Alex Riley. Mm-hmm. It was all former people, so it would be interesting to have some current people pop up in there.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but anyway, so we got down to the finals as Shayna Baszler and Kira Sane went one-on-one, quite a good match.
Yeah.
Shayna kept going after the elbow, which was smart.
Yeah.
Trying to take the arm out, and then I thought, okay, Shayna's the daggum Terminator. You just can't get rid of her. Can't take her down. She had the size advantage, and she kept trying to go after that arm, but Shayna finally got hit in the ribs one too many times, and she just looked like she couldn't hardly breathe, and that's what took her out. And I just loved how they had, who was it? It was Dana Warrior was out there. Beth Phoenix was around. Alundra Blaze was there. The Glow women were out there. Ronda Rousey and one of the other women. Not all three of them, but there were two of them because Roderick Strong's wife wasn't there again. I don't know why.
And Becky.
Yeah. And Charlotte. And Bayley.
And no Sasha.
No Sasha. Again, just like on the tapings, there was no Sasha. I don't know why they did that. So it was pretty cool to have, and Morrow was in the. Oscar was there. Morrow was in the audience.
Yep.
So it was definitely interesting. But Kara Sane did come out with the win, and she was the first participant included in this new Fatal 4-Way idea to get a new women's champion for NXT.
Yep. And that'll be in November at the Takeover.
Yes. What event is that going to be? Survivor Series?
Yes, it's Survivor Series weekend. Yes.
Because one time they did one, it was a random pay-per-view. It wasn't even a big pay-per-view.
Like May. It was in May or something, yeah.
It was a random name. It was like
fine.
It was usually it was a SmackDown pay-per-view.
SummerSlam, yeah. So I guess it gives them 5. January for Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania. Have somewhere in the middle, and then August and November.
Well, there you go.
5 takeovers a year is pretty good, especially for Hunter.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm glad she won. I was afraid they're going to leave that way with the MMA girl. So.
Right. Which they're talking about not doing the whole 4 horsewomen against 4 horsewomen thing. They said that Vince has already dropped it because they're not even in talks with Ronda Rousey. And Shayna hasn't even signed a contract yet. Long list of people from that tournament, though, that have signed contracts.
Except for 1.
Tessa Blanchard has not.
2.
Who else?
Toni Storm.
Oh, you know it's going to happen.
They need to get
I don't know.
That's my new favorites.
My favorite was, I kept trying to think of her name. It was the tall blonde. It was Rhea Ripley. She's already signed. But,
was Johnny's wife? Not yet.
Candice LeRae, I don't think she
Not
has
yet.
yet. They say she's a shoe-in, but they're also talking about, Mercedes Martinez was in the audience with Piper Niven.
Yes.
They said that Piper hasn't signed, but she's that's a big one they want to get. They flew her all the way to Japan just to have her there, which is a little weird.
So
Mercedes Martinez is 37, and I'm like, why aren't they bringing her in? Unless they're going to have her, wrestle for about a year or so and then make her a trainer.
Not the other girl. Well, who didn't even wrestle? They just made her a trainer. The one I thought was going to be a wrestler.
Which one? Sarita?
The one that's the main trainer now.
Oh, the main trainer.
Yes.
Sarah Amata. Yeah, they never let her wrestle.
Nope. Thought she was going to be a wrestler, then jump back. She just like, you're trainer in that. Maybe the same way. And they come in and say, okay, you did good. We want you to do this. We want you to do that.
Right. But they've got a lot of upside on these women, but I thought that very interesting thing was that I did not know this. Toni Storm and who was the first UK champion? What's that guy's name again?
Tyler
Bate. Apparently they were dating. And apparently his information, I just read this. Apparently it's been out there for a little while. I just read about this.
But I know where you're going.
Apparently his information got put out there, and he was having a conversation on his phone with someone, either a text or online or something. And apparently he cheated on Toni Storm. I didn't know they dated. But apparently he cheated on her with a transsexual.
Oh, I didn't hear that because I thought he was talking to Liv Morgan.
That's the next thing. They posted this conversation with the transsexual.
Okay, that part I have not heard. That part.
Oh yeah, I saw it the other night.
Oh Lord.
Apparently I don't know if anything ever came of it, but he said on the text it said he loves trans women. So.
All right then.
Hey, to each their own. It's 2017. But and then now he's talking to Liv Morgan because apparently Enzo cheated on Liv Morgan. They split up. Like, are you stupid?
I know, I'm trying to think.
Look at these women, and then y'all are doing this.
I look at Liv Morgan and say, what did he cheat on her with? You know?
Like, why?
Yes.
They said it was some unknown girl, so probably some rat that he saw at a show or something.
Some rat.
That's what they call women that come around wrestlers.
A rat.
A rat. That's what they call them.
She may look like a rat.
She might. We don't know. But yeah, so now that's going to be awkward. You got, because you'll have Tyler Bate at the Performance Center a lot, Toni Storm, and Liv Morgan there. It's just a combination that's not going to be good. But I hope that doesn't stop them from hiring folks. I hope they just be professional.
Yeah, I hope they put the word out saying, okay, this is your job.
So don't act stupid.
This ain't the freaking days of our lives, so we're not going to get stupid.
Exactly.
Well, that's it for part one. I mean, sad part one.
Very sad.
With the loss of the passing of Bobby the Brain Heenan. But part two, we're going to do Pro Wrestling Review, the Monday Night Wars, November the 18th to December the 9th of 1996.
We're getting there.
So come on back. I'm Mike Hogan.
Just kind of.
See a few clicks. It's barely on the screen.